Yo, what's going on? See, he's making himself clean. What's going on, man? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Frank and Podcast. My man think he an IG model, for real. But we back again to give y'all some riveting content. Thank you, everybody who's already tuned in, who sent us some constructive criticism, who's liked, shared, commented. Really appreciate all the work and the support that we're getting right now. We're still growing, man. We're still growing, but we're going to keep at it, giving you some good conversations. And always feel free. Feel free to let us know what y'all want us to talk about and what things we can do to maybe improve our podcast, man. So, yeah, man, how's it been in the last couple of weeks, man?
It's been good. It's been a long week in terms of like work, works and things like that. Thanksgiving is approaching, so we're trying to wrap a few things off. So, we're going to try to do as much as we can before everybody goes on holidays and enjoy that good food. So that's basically it.
Not everyone can cook, though, man. Not everyone can cook, but listen, man, last week's been interesting, man. It's just, like you said, wrapping things up. The holidays are coming, putting plans together to make sure you see some family, some loved ones, whatever have you. And, wishing the best for everyone. You know what's crazy, though? One thing I've started to notice in the last couple of years is that the moment Halloween is over, it's already Christmas season. I already see Mariah Carey on Twitter talking about, let's start pumping my songs. Let me make my quick millions that I get around the same time every year.
They're getting that Christmas stuff ready.
Usually, I remember when I was growing up, it was usually after Thanksgiving was over that the Christmas season started. Yeah. Nowadays, y'all don't give a damn. Let's already get to it. I'm not mad at it, man, but it's just, something that I noticed. Yeah, y'all don't mess. Y'all messing more with the elves than the turkeys, I guess. So. But
all right, but let's just dive into the topic we have on today. Something we wanted to at least I wanted to touch on real quick. He was right. We did a bit. We were talking about the Aaron Rodgers situation with him. Testing positive for COVID. Comes to find out the NFL fined him. $15K. And the Packers organization was $300K. So you were actually right when you said that apparently they already worked out a deal. And he created some of course he created some discussion, in the media world where people are just like, it's unfair basically because he's a high profile athlete. He's only getting only $15K. So I don't know what to make of it. What do you think? I don't even know if I have to ask him what he thinks because that's what he predicted. That's what he predicted. He knew already that they were just going to be like, it's the NFL. They're just going to give him about $15K though. You know what I mean?
They're going to give him some light because at the end of the day,
he said some light.
At the end of the day, he's one of their stars.
You were right.
He's one of their stars. So and apparently Aaron Rodgers already put it out there. No, but he already put it out there that the NFL themselves, they knew. So he already put it out there that there's some responsibility that needs to be given to the NFL.
That's pocket change.
And now they're trying to deflect, but in a way that doesn't piss off him or anyone else. And so, first of all, they find the Packers organization more money than him. You know what I mean? Because apparently, the Packers are his handlers.
Packers is still pocket change for them. It's $1 billion.
What do you expect, man? They do their background deals.
But the thing is, but the thing is not even try to hire the favoritism. That's my issue with it. It's just like it clearly sent a signal to other players that based on who you are, we're gonna make the rules based on who you are. That's just wrong.
But since when has the NFL or any of these big organizations tried to act as if it's any different?
I just feel
that's like America. If you high profile, if you're someone that we depend upon more than the average person, they're gonna make sure you good. Real quick, and by the other thing I said is that behind the scenes, you best believe the NFL is talking to some of these other players or teams that want to say something. They're like, shut your head, shut up. Shut up. We're gonna handle this, nip it in the bud, and let's clear this and forget that it may have ever happened. That's how quick they're going to do this, man.
Well, they missed that boat because clearly the media sees a problem with it. And it's not even just the media. Some of the players probably do too. Because, again, I feel like it kind of undermined their COVID-19 protocol where now a player can use this case as, well, y'all didn't find Aaron Rodgers, so what about me? And I'm not even necessarily talking about, some of the players that don't make the cut, on practice squad. I'm talking about some higher some high-profile players that's just going to follow along that route, which is the point I made last time, where I feel like some people going to be like, yo.
When you see the quick fine they gave to that guy, and I don't think it's just the fine. I think the fine tells you that behind the scenes conversations. I think the fine tells you that behind the scenes conversations were had, and they've already come to a resolution. They're trying to sweep this under the rug as quickly as possible.
I feel like that's bad PR.
Because imagine that they suspended him. I feel like they should have. Yeah, they suspended him heavily and gave him a heavy fine. This would have continued. The conversation around this would have continued longer. Sure, there's a conversation now that they're being too lenient and everything, but that's going to be a far shorter lived conversation than the alternative would have been. That's how the NFL, man. I'm telling you, these organizations, that's how they move.
But you see, I think at the end of the day, you were right. I still feel like it's wrong. I think he's gonna create some sort of snowball effect within the players, where now your COVID-19 is not really gonna. It's not gonna. I don't know, man. It's just like people. I think like in terms of PR, it's a bad move. It's a bad move on the league. Just like, for example, and kind of just to switch gear real quick, because I know, at the end of the day, he was right. But same thing that's happening with John Gruden emails. I don't know if you know the situation, everything that happened, but the thing is,
describe it real quick. Describe it real quick.
No, for those that don't know, John Gruden was caught in some emails. Basically, the league was investigating, I think, the Raiders, organization, and they come to find out that John Gruden has exchanged certain emails with some of the what's it called, the higher up in the league, and basically he was using racial slur, he was using homophobic terms, he was using a whole lot in the emails exchange, right? Well, fast forward, he was made to resign from the Raiders. I like how they don't fire him, but they politely tell my man, like, yo, my man, you need to resign. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to fire you, it's going to look bad, so just resign. So now it came out, John Gruden is suing the NFL.
Yeah.
He's suing the NFL, so it's just like, again, do you feel like he has a case? And can he win the case?
Listen, I'm not a lawyer, but first of all, I feel like that situation, maybe the NFL wanted to get him out quickly, get him out of there quickly, because number one, was he even still a coach at that time?
When he sent these emails?
Yeah.
I believe he may have been working for ESPN already. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So there's that.
But he did it back to like 2000 or something like that.
Yeah, but from maybe a certain perspective, we would say that he was still on the fringes of the league. He was still connected with some people, right? But you would maybe argue that he's still on the fringes of the league. So maybe the league looks at him as not as much of an asset as an Aaron Rodgers, for example. He's collateral. And then there's also the topic of, there was some stuff in those emails that were maybe racial, sexist, all that type of thing, right? So there's the element that we live in an era where those kind of topics are really, they're hot out here in these streets. And they're really, really hot when it comes to the social justice topics and things of that nature. Because the thing is, COVID is one thing, right? But COVID, I feel like it's an argument that's got to do with public health and stuff like that I don't think a lot of people take it to the same seriousness as they have in the last, I would say, 6-7 years when it comes to these social justice topics. I really do. I feel like there's a certain interest that breaks out a lot more of a reaction when it comes to racism, sexism, and this and that, than the conversation around vaccines, where for a lot of people there's a little bit of wiggle room on both sides.
Right, but so I think my problem is two things. It's just like, I feel like we're getting a time where, and this is just one instance where you go back in time where someone may have said 15 or 10 years back, and we use that against him in today's time. You know what I mean? Like, there's one thing where you don't even leave you don't give a chance. I don't think he really has changed, but it's basically it's just like, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago that you are now. That's one. I feel like, I think it's, and I'm not saying I'm okay with whatever he shared within these emails, but it's just like, it's back 10, 15 years ago. If those are things that he had said, last year, 2 years ago, okay, fine. But 10, 15 years ago, I feel like that's wrong. It's just, I feel like someone may have changed or might have been educated on that topic and just realized that that was wrong. So I feel like we don't give people the opportunity for them to change or to grow and learn from the mistake they have made. That's my first point. The second point I was going to make is I feel like in order for him to change to use those kind of languages in email, is because there's a certain level of comfort he has with these people where he knows that the language they use. That's my main issues with these emails. He's just like, he's not just the only one using these words. There are certain word that word that you're not going to use. It's called familiar. You're familiar with a person where you can use that kind of language or verb. You know what I mean? Whereas nobody just going to. I mean, I don't personally use the N word, but I know like you're not just going to use the N word with just anybody. There's something in companies called code switching, right? Where when you go to your company, you speak very proper. You know what I mean? Like you use certain language compared to how you speak with your people. So if for him to use that language means he's not the only one. So why is he the one taking the fall? There's plenty of these people in this upper chain of the NFL that use that language, and I think that's where that's what he's attacking the league. Where y'all coming at me as if I've done anything wrong when that's everybody. That's how everybody talks, and I feel like this is really. Bruno's point is just like the NFL. That's how everybody talk.
He's not the only one. Have you heard about the story that's going on in the NBA?
No.
There's the Phoenix Suns owner. There are emails and a bunch. ESPN did a whole expose about him and the type of language that he used to speak around the organization. He used to call black players, black coaches the N-word. He used to do all kinds of stuff, right? All of that came out. So it's kind of a similar situation. But you're right. It's kind of the culture that's being bred in these organizations that give these people who have power and influence the comfortability to just say whatever they want. But when you say also there's a couple of things I want to respond to that you just said. The first one is cancel culture and not allowing people to. I'll be real. Listen, man. My opinions on cancel culture are complicated. They're complex. Because I feel like there's some things that people should be canceled for. But I also do feel that the element of not allowing people to grow and maybe redeem themselves from past mistakes is a problem that we have in cancel culture that I would love for someone to actually just come out and show that, no, this is who I am now. I made a mistake and this and that. By the way, I think that's what a lot of these people should do immediately. Because as much as like the hate train is going to come. Once they found out something about you, the hate train is going to come. You might as well just own up to it and be like, yeah, this was me and this and that. The problem that a lot of them do is like, no, this was taken out of context and this, and then more evidence comes out and they end up like, But I 1000% agree that we're not forgiving enough sometimes in this society. And we only give people one, a first impression. And if you fail your first impression at any point later on in life, they're immediately going to cancel. I'm not the biggest fan of that. So I agree with you on that. That's one point.
Yeah, go.
That's one. I mean, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if we dig up in anybody's past, we're gonna find something.
Everyone
any of you, if you like, for example, it was cool to say you gay back in 10, 15 years. Like, man, you gay. You know what I mean? Nowadays, can you say that?
That's still stupid, though.
What is it?
It's stupid, but I understand.
It's
stupid. But if someone comes out, if someone comes out, well, you might as well stop saying. Like, think about it. It's stupid. But
I agree. No. I agree. It's stupid.
But the thing is, right? And you actually broached to my second point when you mentioned the simple fact that everyone has something, right? We all have something to pass. Well, it's kind of like that old saying, right? If a tree falls in the forest and no one sees it, did it really fall? My point when I say that is we all got something, but at the end of the day, it's all about whether you get caught or not. That's how a lot of people, like for cheating, for example, right? Is it really cheating if you didn't get caught?
But why did he get caught? Why him?
It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter why or how. That's just the game. I feel like that's really just the game. It's like a bank robber, right? You and me can come together and be like, yo, we gonna rob Chase Bank right now. I get caught, you get off scot-free, and I don't want to be a snitch. I'm the one that gets everything. You get to live your life perfect. You get to go in Miami, ride around in a Lambo, say hi to Flo Rida, all that kind of stuff. but I'm the one that ends up going to jail, right? It's all about whether or not you get caught. That's the unfortunate reality of it is.
But I feel like it's more so like him being the scapegoat and him taking the fall for all the BS.
But that's
they
the
needed
thing.
someone to take the fall for all the BS that's been going on in the organization, and that's what I hate about these organizations.
There's no morality in these stuff,
I'm telling you, every time there's some sort of like, there's some sort of scandal, they always need someone to take the fall for it. Like they don't want the organization just like, you know what? Man, you're gonna be the one. It's like you're gonna be the one. But guess what? You're gonna be well compensated. You're still gonna touch your salary, but guess what? You're not going to be able to work there.
No.
But the thing is, it kills his reputation.
Because at the end of the day, and this is why they do it, right? Because there's too much money involved. There's too much money involved all around for the entity itself, not one of the sum of its parts, but the entity itself to go down and potentially risk itself. They're just gonna come and talk to the one guy that's got an issue like, yo, dog, listen, man, it's crazy, right? But you're going to have to take the fall right quick. We'll give you some money on the side, you know what I mean? But no.
The thing is this, do we really care about these things? I think like American cares about the football way too much for them to care about these things. Like as much as
that's the problem. That's the big problem that people have had with the NFL. That the NFL doesn't really, that there's nothing is ever going to change in these organizations like the NFL simply due to the fact that at the end of the day, people love their football.
They love their football.
They're not going to give up and boycott their football because these scandals are going on. Nope.
It's going to be 2-3 days.
It's all about PR, and it comes back to this Aaron Rodgers thing. At the end of the day, they know people are not going to care about this in 2 days. We'll give you your fine real quick for some quick PR for today's headline page in the newspaper. But tomorrow, we forget all about it, bro.
Because at the end of the day, they want to fill up that stadium. And what better way to fill up the stadium by having number 12, Aaron Rodgers, to play on that Sunday. That's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? This Lambeau Field ain't the same when he's a sub playing. They want Aaron Rodgers to be the starter. You know what I mean? And they already know. He will hurt the ticket system if he's not playing. That's what it comes down to, But I mean, it's just
there's no morality.
We acting like America is, like I always said, sex, money, and controversy. I think that's America. That's the reason why I sum up America. So we have those little controversy, but at the end of the day, we care more about the money. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. So I don't know, man. Just at the end of the day, I feel like it's just. But they have something.
They like these big organizations. You don't think that they're in their C-suites every single day discussing all matters that they discuss center around money. They center around money. If there's a scandal like this, they're thinking about, okay, how can we handle this in a way that least affects our bottom line? That's how they move.
But it's not even going to affect.
It's not about morality or anything.
It's really not, because at the end of the day, I feel like people are going to still watch.
Yep.
You got players in that league that kill people and still playing.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, shout out to Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis praying on the field now.
You know what I mean? But there's things like that where I feel like at the end of the day it's about $1. But anyway, just wanted to share that news. What are your thoughts on
allegedly, by the way? Allegedly. Let's give ourselves
allegedly.
Let's give ourselves a little legal protection. But yeah.
What are your thoughts on your topic? What do you guys think about the Aaron Rodgers situation? Was the fine fair, or should he have been fined more? Also, the John Gruden, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that. So,
and also even I forgot the name of the owner, John Robert Slager or something. The owner of the Phoenix Suns. That was a nasty ass expose. Some of the things that he was saying. What do y'all think is going to happen? Is it going to be another one of those Donald Sterling situations where the NBA is going to try to get him out of there, or do you think that if this is another one of those owners that's come out to be disgusting and being allegedly like in this fashion, is it really the question about the owners, or is it just the organization that enables this sort of behavior? Plain and simple.
All right.
So
let us know what you think.